Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well and welcome to Avus. This is a German car company fighting for survival after the Second World War. Luckily, due to its high recognition before the war, the German state has given it a lot of money to rebuild its infrastructure and start producing cars in order to get Germany back on its feet. So, let's see what Avus can do. Let's see if we can make this company a very successful one. And so, due to a need for some runabout cars, we are going to attempt to make a commuter/commuter budget car, and hopefully we can actually make something that sells. As for the actual underpinnings of it, we are just stuck with a space frame chassis apparently and rear engine, so we don't have much choice in this. So this is going to be our platform. I don't know why we can't put just a ladder chassis or a monocoque chassis or just something simple in there. But we have got a space frame chassis and we're going to have to live with it. As for a new engine, I am not entirely sure which direction I want to go. Obviously, I always do inline 3.3s, pretty much. Just because they're small and they tend to produce a lot of torque due to the large pistons. But I think this time, we're going to go with a boxer engine. It's too wide. That's not fun. Okay. It's not going to be a big engine anyway, but it's going to be a boxer engine. Simply because, why not? As for the size, I'm just going to make it a 1.1 litre and hopefully we can get around 30 horsepower out of it. That's sort of the aim here. We are going to go with a pushrod setup simply because we want it to be as simple as possible, and yeah. Cast iron, light, everything. We'll see if we need a harmonic damper. I'm going to leave it without for the time being just to save on a bit of money. And yeah, increase compression a tiny bit, reduce the cam profiling, reduce the springs and lifters, and yeah, oh, it's gonna have a higher RPM limit than that. Let's do something like 5,500. Naturally aspirated, of course. As for the intake system, we're just gonna go with a standard carburetor, single barrel, eco, low, everything. Just, yeah. Try and get as much out of the lower end as possible on this thing. And, oh, we do have 30 horsepower. We have more than 30 horsepower. That's really good. I am very happy with that. I am very happy with that. Alright, let me do some tuning on this engine and I'll be back with you guys shortly. Alright, I am very happy with this. 35 horsepower, 70 newton meters of torque. This is a really good little engine, this. I think it'll be brilliant. The only thing that isn't too great, which I've noticed, is the reliability. It's got good throttle response, it's very smooth, it's very quiet. I mean, I could even get away with... No, I'm leaving that on. But, yeah. So, reliability is quite low, but we're just going to have to live with that for the time being and hope that we can make it work somehow. As for how it sounds, I haven't listened to it yet, so let's see if it sounds nice and throaty like a boxer usually does sound. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. That sounds really good. I am very happy with that. This is a good little engine, this. I am very happy. So let's throw this into our car and hope that it serves it well. As for the actual car, it's going to be a rear-wheel drive 3-speed manual because it's gonna need a third gear, let's be real. I don't know what the top speed's gonna be. It's gonna be somewhere around there. Open differential. All of this is basically just going to be simple, cheap, and effective. So yeah, let's do, I don't know, 135s I guess is the maximum we can do. Oh dear, I forgot how tiny the wheels were back in the day. Yeah, brakes, we can't really touch that. No under tray. The interior, I'm just going to put a bench in the back with a standard everything. Standard rack and pinion, standard safety, and it wants to kill everybody. Oh dear. Alright, I have a lot of tuning to do to get this thing going well, but it's very light. Very, very light. That's incredibly light, especially for the power that this engine has. So, we can actually genuinely do something with this. That is very good. How difficult, it's going to be pretty difficult to make. So the production unit is very high. The engineering time is alright, but the production unit is very high, and that is almost certainly down to it being a space frame chassis, so yeah. Let's see if I can make this work. I'll be back with you guys once I've finished it. this is it, the Avus A100. Don't ask me why I came up with that name. I just thought if we're making more vehicles, we can make a thing out of that. But yeah, I think this is a really good looking little car. So it's very basic, and from the cutscene bits, the cinematics, I did add some bits to the interior, so ventilation, a key, fuel gauge and that kind of thing. But this is supposed to be a basic vehicle, and I think I've achieved the idea of that very nicely. I've made a custom wooden dashboard, which is very basic. This is supposed to be a handbrake, gear lever, and the rest of it is really bare bones. It doesn't have any armrests, it's very simple, and it moves. That's the most important thing. The grille might be a little flashy for this one, but honestly I don't mind it. I like the way it looks. It looks beefy, it looks strong, which yeah, would probably get this thing to sell quite nicely. And yeah, all in all, I think we have a really good first car on our hands here. We could definitely make something of the company using this vehicle. I am 100% certain. And so now that we have the vehicle, I'm not going to design anymore. There is no point to making more variants because I don't know if it's even going to do that well. And if it does well, obviously we'll make some variants. There will be a more powerful engine coming in soon-ish. I've experimented with upsizing this engine to a 1.2, which is the maximum it can go to, and you can get some pretty decent power out of it, so that's definitely something that will come. And yeah, if it does well, we'll also make a van variant of it, which luckily is one of the body options for it. So yeah, what are we gonna do here? I think this is good. We've got a 12-month engineering time, which yeah, is probably a bit long, but honestly I can happily wait a year. But the material costs for this vehicle are now 1,600 credits, monies, dollars I guess. Engineering costs are ridiculously low. It's 1.6 million, which, I mean, it isn't ridiculously low, but it just is. Production units have taken a massive hit due to the tooling being very manual, but honestly I don't mind that. We can work on that in future projects. So yeah, let's go on and make the engine thingy, I don't know. But it's going to be a very similar thing where it's going to be already a really high engineering time, so luckily the whole making the engine bit, production units are very low simply because it's a very simple engine. So I'm going to optimize the design as well on this, make it more reliable. Let's see if we can achieve a decent reliability, because this engine just isn't reliable. And yeah, well, we're gonna have to pay a bit more, but oh no, hold on. Let me fiddle around with this and see what I can do. And this is what we're going to work with. It's also a 12-month engineering time. Yes, the production units have taken a massive hit, but I'm not too mad about it right now. $300 of material costs is also absolutely nothing. It's got a decent reliability. I'm not very happy with it still, but that's something we'll have to work on in the future. But yeah, engineering costs. That is also ridiculously low. This whole entire car is being engineered for less than $5 million, which is just incredible. So yeah, let's get some factories up and running and we'll see if we can make a profit. As for the factories, because we don't have any, we need to start from scratch. So I'm going to get a lodge plot, simply because when we want to upgrade in the future, we have something to upgrade with. Do an iron foundry, obviously, because we need it for the engine, and the rest we'll leave unticked for the time being. I don't see much of a point right now to do it. Alright, it appears we've landed ourselves in a very good country, so let's produce worker wages, an absolute bunch. And yeah, that looks good. 2,300 engines, I think that's alright. 1,000 plus labor and material costs, 1,100 is alright. I'm sure we can get that a little bit lower if we do a little bit of automation, a little bit of tooling quality. And there you go. We'll also increase the quality threshold, which means we'll have to increase tooling quality a tiny bit again. But yeah, I think, there you go. That looks good. Very happy to see this. 1,350 engines, $1,000 exactly to make the engine. I'm very happy with that. I made sure that this car was as cheap to produce as possible, simply because I want to try and turn as big a profit as possible. So, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but yeah. So we're going to take a large plot once again, and let's see what a medium one factory does. So how many cars are we producing? I want to try and produce about 2,000 on the dot. So we have a bit of surplus on the engines, but that would mean we can't make another car. We'd have to expand that other factory. We should try and see if we can get the other factory to create a surplus of engines just to get us going. But yeah, just to future-proof us a little bit. So let's see how many cars we can produce here. It's 1,470, which honestly, not too bad. We'll do this on the shift. I don't know. I've always done this, and then we'll reduce worker wages until we get 2.5 shifts at 12 months. This looks okay. It's quite an expensive vehicle to produce, but we are making an insane possible profit. So yeah, let's see if we can produce 1,500 cars. That would be good, because then if we decide to make another vehicle, we can add it onto the factory. We'd only be able to make about 800, but honestly, that's okay. We can also always upgrade the other factory, which is okay. It looks like we're going to be stuck with about 1,400 vehicles, but honestly, that is okay. I'm not too upset with that. Lots of construction costs are coming inbound, so this vehicle has to do well, because these factories are expensive. Oh. Alright. Forecasts are saying we are going to be doing extremely well. Let's toggle with the factory. And this is not even with the price I want to be at. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I want to sell this for about 8,000 credits, $8,000. We are going to be turning a huge profit with this thing, which means we can use this to fund future projects. And if we keep on top of this vehicle, we can also make an absolute boatload of money with good facelifts and good design choices, I guess. I am very happy with that. So, it's going to cost almost our entire budget, our entire company money. I'm not going to take out a loan. 450 million, which means we'll be left with about 85 million. This car definitely has to make us money. It has to happen. We have no choice. So yeah, let's sign off on it. And this is where the story begins. Let's take the car for a drive just to make sure it is actually good, because I'm a bit skeptical now. That's a lot of money. A lot of money that is going into this vehicle. So it just has to do well. And you now join me in BeamNG Drive, where we now have glowing white bumpers and a glowing white... a lot as white, actually. The wing mirror is white. The dashboard isn't as wood-like as it probably should be. But you know what? Let's just see how it drives. So I actually haven't driven this yet, so I can't really say what it's like, but I can already tell you that... Oh. That has to be the slowest accident I have ever had. That is ridiculous. So yeah, let's ignore that. That never happened. Yeah. I think this car actually does look pretty good. I mean, I need to fix the whole steel looking like white issue, but I'm actually really happy with it, and it doesn't drive too badly. The suspension's probably a bit stiffer than I should have made it, but Otherwise, it had no carrying capacity. Even now, it only carries about 440 kilograms of cargo, including people, which, for 5 people, if you wanted to squeeze them in here, is not a lot. It is rather fun to drive, though. It's very bouncy, and at high speeds, it is very tail-happy. Do we get air? Oh, a little bit. I wonder how we would do around this track. I don't think it would be incredibly quick, but I'm sure we could get a fun time in regardless. But for 35 horsepower, this thing actually goes pretty decently. Although it does like to lose control a lot. Oh, what a drift! Oh, I like this thing. This is very fun. I think what we do, go take it around the track, see what sort of time it can post. I really like it. But before we do that, it appears that I found myself in some sand, and it's handling it quite well. I'm very surprised. Because I'm just trying to drive over to the checkpoint thingy, and oh no, don't get stuck now. I was just complimenting you. It's always when you compliment it. Always when you compliment it. Oh, that's not fun. Let's forget that ever happened. And up the hill we go. I can't see this being a good off-roader in general, but I feel like it could hold its own if you take it down some dirt paths, which, all the time, very likely to happen. That is a lot of sand. I can't see anything. We have no grip. The open differential's not helping. I think what we need to do is we need to get a run up. So, let's go. Everything this thing has. Speed, and, well, a lot of power. Over the next dune we go. I don't know how far along I've gone. I know I'm expecting some containers, but yeah. Oh, we've managed to get second gear. Let's go up here and see if we can find it. Climbing. Well, there are the containers. So let's go and do this crazy lap, which is not going to be so crazy. And here we have it, the beauty ready for the island loop. I wonder how it'll do. I don't think we're going to get a crazy lap time, but it'll be very fun regardless. And here we go. Loads of wheel spin off the line. Loads and loads of wheel spin because, yeah. Cut the corner for extra time saved. And bomb it up this hill at about not even 50 miles an hour. This is, I mean, it'll feel very fast in this. It's a very small car. But yeah, let's see if it does this corner. Oh, it's very scary. Very, very scary. You don't know what to expect when you turn into a corner. Is it going to understeer? Is it going to oversteer? Who knows? It'll be up to you to find out. So here we go. We need to try and make this corner. Let's brake about there. Second gear, drifting all the way through. Wow. This thing may be slow, but it's really scary. And I missed a gear there, but oh well. I reckon we can do this tunnel flat. It's quite a shallow radius, but we're not going very fast. I'm scared. Second gear. Second gear still. Second gear still. Ooh. It feels like we're going a lot faster than we are. I keep looking at the speedometer and seeing double digits. I'm like, oh, okay. We're not even going anything above 60 miles an hour yet. And now we are. We've got a little jump to come. Let's brake a little bit because this is always scary. Turn right. Do another drift. Very nice. Lots of tire squeal. And there's the understeer. Oversteer, then understeer. Which one do you want? You can have both. But yeah, this thing is quite an handful. I was hoping to beat 2 minutes actually, but it doesn't look like I am. Oh well. This was incredibly good fun. 2 minutes 1.4. Not great, but you know what? It could be worse. It could be a lot worse. But yeah, I think this thing is going to sell like absolute hotcakes. I am very happy that this turned out the way it did. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure making this video for you guys, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. So bye bye.